Energy never lies. Transformation, integration, and healing. So healing can happen on many levels, like the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual level, right? But what is the higher sense, like the higher reason why we need to heal? So according to the spiritual law, to the first spiritual law, which is the law of oneness, it's about becoming one again, right? Becoming one with ourselves and one with the universe, yeah, with everything. But if we have rejected some soul pieces, some experiences, some emotions, how can we become one? And so in order to become healed, we can do several things, several techniques. One of them is, as mentioned before, is to work with our story in order to find out our triggers, to work on them, to heal them. The other one is to really be present and to let our emotions, our energy in motion flow through our bodies so that it can be transformed into energy we can use during our everyday life, right? But what happens if we have rejected our soul pieces? Yeah, what are our soul pieces and how we can... What are our soul pieces and how can it happen that we reject them? So our soul pieces are, of course, parts of ourselves. And since usually our original state is to be one, we consist of everything. Yeah, we have pieces, energetic pieces of like being, let's say, lazy, being hardworking, being powerful or powerless, being the perpetrator or being the victim. We consist of everything. But if we have some, let's say, challenging experiences, usually we reject one or two or three of our soul pieces because we didn't really like the experience. So we miss that soul piece. And therefore we are not one with ourselves. What can we do about it? These are all parts of ourselves which we need to integrate in order to heal and to become one. And it doesn't mean that we have to live them and to express them, right? We also have the parts of being the perpetrator and being the victim. But we don't have to live them. But when we accept them and integrate them, we become more one and are in peace with those pieces, right? And it's all about that. So how can you find out what soul pieces you've rejected? If you observe your life, observe what people do you attract, yeah, with what characteristics. For example, if you observe that in your life you attract a lot of people who are in the victim role, yeah, who are like not really having like their life in their own hands. And maybe you also feel like a rejection and you think like, wow, how can they do that? How can people be like that? Or if you attract people who are always in the power position, right? So that you are more in the victim role and you have to obey and etc., right? And you don't like how the people behave. And you ask yourself, well, how can people be like that? This means that there where you have a rejection against someone else or someone else's behavior, it means that you have rejected something within yourself, right? Otherwise, you would say like, I don't really like it, but I'm neutral towards it. When you've transformed it, you're always neutral or maybe even in favor of that. But usually you are like neutral. But when you have a rejection, it means that there's a rejection within you, because the outer world is a mirror of the inner world. Always when you feel a rejection towards a behavior of someone, it means that you have a rejection within yourself towards this soul piece. For example, it could be that in the past you've observed your parents having a fight. And you've observed that one of your parents was more in the victim position. And then as a child, probably you said, "Poof, I never want to experience that. I don't want to be a victim." In that moment, you reject this part and you're less whole again, right? You are less whole. And in that moment, when you realize that now, through the observation of your outer world, you have the opportunity to integrate these soul pieces. And it sounds more difficult than it is, but in the end, the exercise is really, really easy. So how can you use that wisdom and that knowledge in order to integrate your soul pieces? I would like to show you a little easy technique. The technique works like that. You have two chairs. On one chair, you sit. On the other, more or less 1 meter, 50 centimeters away from each other. On the other, imagine there is your soul piece. So, and your soul piece looks like you, the same way you are looking right now, but in the victim role, for example, or in the, let's say, what else could you reject, like being unstructured, or being always late, or being lazy, or being too powerful, whatever, right? And you imagine yourself with these energies. And you sit in front of yourself, confronted with that soul piece you've rejected before. And of course, at first you will feel rejection. You don't want to look at this and you think like, whoa, it's better to escape, or this piece should go away. But please just let it flow through. Allow the energy of rejection to flow through, and then maybe some emotions come up, some energy in motion, and allow this energy in motion to flow through as well, and to let go and to become calm. And maybe as a next step, you could ask your soul piece, yeah? Of course, it's an imaginary conversation in your, let's say, inner world, but you can visualize it like that. So that you ask your soul piece, hey, how are you? How do you feel? What's going on? Is there something you want to tell me? And listen to that soul piece. Then you can establish a conversation, and maybe you can send him some more self-love, or motivate him to become more powerful, or just embrace him, right? And when you embrace him, you can also imagine that you integrate it and it flows more within you, right? So that you can become more one with yourself and become whole. So if you want to know more about this technique and about other techniques about transformation, emotional healing, soul pieces, past lives, etc., and of course how to become more whole and to live your true essence, I can recommend you my first book, Don't Let Your Past Destroy Your Future, and you will find a lot of answers within. So I hope this technique could help you a bit, and in order to integrate your soul pieces and also to understand the process. So I wish you a lot of integration, transformation and healing, and hopefully see you soon. Thank you.